just the one block. So these are options to make it the most comfortable for you. Now I'll invite you to close your eyes, and this is an opportunity to focus on your breath. So breath in yoga is referred to pranayama. Prana meaning life force and yama meaning extension. So it's an integral part of your practice, and we breathe in through our nose and out through our nose. Nose is for breathing, mouth is for eating. In through the nose, out through the nose. And while we're focusing on our breath, we learn to extend our breath. We breathe in for longer, breathing into our chest, into our ribs, and into our belly. And exhale from our chest, our ribs, and our belly. So whilst you are focusing on your breathing, inhaling and exhaling, try to park the conversation that's going on in your mind. Try not to get into dialogue with the thoughts that are being processed through your mind. The physical practice of yoga allows us not to think only about the placement of our feet and our hands, and using and engaging our muscles. But when we are in stillness, when we are not physically practicing yoga, the more challenging aspect is the quietening of the mind, focusing on the breath. And when we quiet our mind, we have a stronger connection to our heart. One more. Inhale. Chest, ribs, belly. And exhale. And I invite you now to perhaps, if you're using 2 blocks, to take 1 block away. Or if you wish to take all blocks away. But I'll also invite you to extend your arms towards the front of your mat even further. If you can at this stage, lift your elbows and press all of your 5 digits into the mat. The backs of your knuckles, the heel of your hand. And I want you to explore the idea of moving your arms towards your sit bones. So you're pulling on your mat. Although you're not moving, it's creating a resistance. And in doing so, you're opening up the shoulders, opening up the chest, even into the sides of your torso. Keep pressing your palms, knuckles, fingers. And I want you to imagine you are pulling that mat all the way back towards your feet. One, inhale. And on the exhale, lift your gaze. And I want you now to use your blocks and place your blocks underneath your forearms. So just underneath your forearms, your hands will be over the edge of your blocks. And now you've created space between you and the floor to open up the sternum even more, working your heart and your chest towards the floor. So you're working deeper into your shoulders, deeper into your obliques, into your side body. So thinking about the back of your heart. So the back of your heart is going towards your spine. So I want you to bring the back of your heart towards the front of your heart. The front of your heart then towards the floor. Stay with your breath, breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. Long and steady. One more. Inhale. And on the exhale, lift your gaze. And now we're going to move the blocks a little bit further forward, placing your hands on top of the blocks. Again, pressing the knuckles, your fingers into the block. Greater space between you and the floor, opening up the chest, opening up the shoulders. Back of your heart towards the front of your heart. And even in this position, I want you to imagine you're pulling the heel of your hands towards your feet. dragging sensation. One more breath, inhale. And on the exhale, lift your gaze. Slide your blocks a little bit closer towards you, shoulder distance apart. Placing your hands on the blocks, lift your sit bones away from your heels and rock your torso up. Bring your knees so that they're now underneath your hips. Shoulders are stacked above your wrists. So we're using our blocks, we're a little bit elevated from the floor. This is called tabletop position. So the crown of the head is in line with your tailbone. One long, strong back. Engage your belly, draw the navel in. And we're going to do cat-cow. So we're going to drop the front of your torso down towards the floor. Lift your tailbone high and lift the crown of your head up towards the sky. Breathing in. Exhale, push the blocks away, keep your arms straight and bring your chin in towards your chest, tailbone up towards your belly button. Push the front of your heart up towards the ceiling, rounding your spine. Expelling all the air out of your lungs. Inhale, fill your lungs as you start the process again. Dropping the front of your body down to the floor, head up, tailbone up. Exhale, round. Chin in, tailbone in. Inhale, lift. Front of the body working its way down to the mat, but the head goes up, the tailbone goes up, arching your lumbar spine. Last time, exhale, round. We call this angry cat. Chin in, tailbone in, push your blocks away with your hands, and then come back to a neutral spine. Tuck the toes with both feet under, and just sway the body forward and back, keeping your hands on the blocks, swaying the body forward, swaying the body back, with your toes tucked under, so we're giving our feet a little stretch. And then we're going to sit back with the toes tucked under, giving our toes a little stretch, and taking our hands off the blocks, walk your hands a little bit closer. Then we're going to come away from the floor and come up into somewhat of a kneeling position. Stretching those toes, don't think about it too much, roll the shoulders for 3, for 2, for 1. Now we're going to take our arms and our hands directly out in front, spread the fingers wide and clench your fist. Open, clench. And then lift, drop, bring your fingers together and drop. And then rotate. For 3, for 2, for 1, fingers together and the other way. 3, 2, 1, give them a shake. Slowly, 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 take the weight away from the heels. Bring your hands back onto the blocks, untuck your toes and give them a little patty lift. Good. Now tuck the toes with both feet under, back again. We're still in our tabletop position, crown the head in line with the tailbone, knees on top of your knee pad. Draw the navel in and lift your knees away from the floor. Now we're sticking to that tabletop formation, so the knees should be underneath the hips, shoulders should be stacked above your wrists, and you're pushing the blocks away with your hands. Now you'll feel the core starting to engage and having to hold this position. I need you to hold it and breathe. In through the nose, out through the nose. Fantastic. One more, inhale. And on the exhale, lower the knees. Good. Untuck your toes, sit back onto your heels. Keep your hands on the blocks and just make 2 fists, one on top of the other. And sway from side to side, just to ease it out. Now come back to center, lift your gaze, place your hands back onto the blocks and rock your body back up. So we're going to progress what we just did there. So we're going to tuck the toes of both feet under. And this is optional. I'm going to show you the full version, then I'll show you the modified version. So we're going to hover the knees, just bear with me for a second. Step back with your right leg, step back with your left leg. This is plank. Now if plank is too much, modified is to drop the knees. Okay? So just adjust so that your knees are on the knee pad. So this is half plank, this is full plank. Now as you can see, my shoulders are in line with my hips, in line with my knees, in line with my ankles. I'm not lifting up the sit bones, and I'm not dropping them. Okay? One long line, like a plank of wood. Okay, so we'll start with the knees down, rest underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes with both feet under, then hover the knees. Draw the navel in, engage your core, keep looking down at the space between your 2 hands, and then step back with your right leg towards the back of your mat, followed by your left. Draw the navel in. Now I want you to think about your core, your center. I want you to imagine your ribs are going down to your hips and your hips are going up to your ribs. So you're condensing everything in your center. Keep looking down at the floor, crown of the head in line with your tailbone. Good. Push away, one more breath. Inhale. Good. And on the exhale, lower your knees. Sit back onto your heels. Make 2 fists and just sway from side to side. Well done. So you should start to feel warmth in your body. You are creating. And then come back to center. Placing your hands back into the blocks. Bring them a wee bit closer to you so your wrists are underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. So, from our little engagement of the core, we're going to work up into downward dog. Now, this is an inversion. I'm going to demonstrate it first. An inversion means that your head is going to be lower than your heart. If you have any heart issues and you don't want to get the head lower than the heart, that's okay. You take the child's pose that we started in the class. For those of you who are going to give it a whirl, and just quickly demonstrate. So we're going to hover the knees, engage our core, and then the sit bones go the highest they can to the sky. We keep both knees bent, and we bring our chest and torso in the direction of our thighs. We're working these heels down towards the floor, but it's more important to keep the knees bent because when we straighten, sometimes this happens, okay? So rather than having a round spine, we want a long spine, keep the knees bent, okay? Now, for those of you who don't fancy the inversion, sit back and rest in your child's pose, stretching the shoulders, working your wrist in the direction of your heels. So, tabletop position, tuck the toes of both feet under, draw the navel in a lot, and we're not going to tuck the tailbone here, we're going to keep the tailbone in line with the crown of the head. Lift the knees away from the floor, get that engagement in the center. When you're ready, lift, lift, lift. Tailbone lifts to the sky. You're like you're coming into an inverted V. And then look at the space between your knees. And these points are called dristies, focus points. Keep your knees bent, think about length in your spine. Beautiful, Suzanne. Lifting the sit bones, lifting the tailbone high. Breathe. Lovely. Good. Pressing those hands, one more breath. Inhale. And on the exhale, lower both knees to the mat. Slowly, don't lift your head too fast. Make your 2 fists. Forehead on top of the fist and just shake from side to side. If you come up too fast, the head gets a little bit lightheaded sometimes. It's not the greatest sensation. And then come back to center. So that's our downward dog. We're going to rock our bodies back up into our tabletop position. Place your hands on your blocks. Ensure your knees are underneath your hips. And we're going to move our blocks to the outside edge of the mat onto their high side and come up into a kneeling position. We will be leaving them in a wee second. So step up with your right foot, and we call this a 90-90. So one leg is 90 and the other leg is 90. Okay, so now you can reach down for your right block and bring it down beside your right hip. Beside your right hip, that's it. Good. We're going to start by just crawling the right foot beyond our right knee and then placing 2 hands on top of your knee. Lift out of your hips, so rather than sinking down into your hips, lift out of your hips, tuck in your tailbone ever so slightly, so I'll just turn around here, ever so slightly tuck it in, draw the navel in, and all we're going to do is if you're brushing cat hair off your right thigh. Okay, so we're going with that sensation. So you're pressing into your right leg and as if you're pushing it forward to allow your hips to sink. Now I need you to engage your glutes. So squeeze the glutes together if you don't want any air to escape. Draw the navel in, keep the shoulders square, the heart is lifted. Beautiful. One more breath. Inhale. On the exhale, slowly bring the weight back. Good. Now, walk the feet a little bit further. So now we're coming into the low lunge position. Once again, the hands rest on the thigh. We're going to bring our hips down towards the floor, draw the navel in. From here, take the right hand down towards the floor. If you reach down, your block should be nearby. Place in your hand on the right block.
Think about your right big toe. Press it strongly into the mat. Think about the inside of your right heel and the outside of your right heel. Press those down strongly into the mat. That will help stabilize your balance. If balance is still an issue, you can widen. Take the heel and the toes out to the right. That will help stabilize the balance. Now with your right hand on the right block, we're going to take the left hand up to the ceiling. If that's too much, you can keep your left hand on your waist. Take a deep breath in, engage your core, strong feet, and then side stretch over to the right. So you've got your hand on your block. You're working your right hand down towards the floor, and this left shoulder doesn't come forward, it stays above the right shoulder. Good, keep working that right foot. Breathe. Now we're going to rotate, twist. So this left shoulder is going to start to come forward. The right shoulder is going to start to go back. We take the left hand to the outside edge of your right knee. Then we release that right hand towards the back of your mat. Looking round at your right hand. Holding on to the outside of your right knee with your left hand. One more breath. Inhale. And on the exhale, slowly drop the right hand down to the floor. Release the left hand from your right knee. Sweep both arms up towards the ceiling. Anjali Asana. Low lunge with raised arms. Keep using your feet. Press your right big toe, right heel into the mat. Ribs in, belly in, tailbone tucked. One more breath. Inhale. And on the exhale, hands to your waist. Slowly bring the sit bones back. And slowly bring your back foot back. We're going to change sides. That's it. Use your blocks. Changing sides. Now you will feel a distortion in the hips, so just shake from side to side. Knees can be out wide. So we've got the stretch on the right, now we're moving to the left. So back to center, take the left foot up, 90 to begin with. Right, left ankle underneath the left knee. Now walk as if you're trying to grab a pencil with your toes. Good, now staying here. Slowly bring the pelvis forward. Tucking in the tailbone, draw the navel in, ribs in. Both hands, left and then right, on top of the left knee. And as if you are pushing the knee forward, this will allow you to sink even more, and also it stretches the right quad and the right hip flexor. Grind into the left big toe, the left heel, and breathe. One more, inhale. And on the exhale, slowly bring the weight back. Now, perhaps that is far enough for you, or you can go a little bit further. So creep your toes a little bit further. Engage your pelvic action, tuck in your tailbone, draw the navel in, hands on your left thigh, and bring the weight forward. Now we're going to reach down for our left block. We're going to beside the left hip. That's it. If balance is an issue, you can heel toe the front foot out, widen your stance, and then the right arm is going to go to the ceiling, ribs in, belly in, take a breath in, and on the exhale, side stretch over to the left. Shoulders are stacked, one on top of the other. Good, lovely. One more breath, inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to add that rotation. So the right shoulder is going to start going forward, left shoulder's rotating back, right hand goes to the outside edge of the left knee, and freeze up that left hand to reach back. Hold it onto the outside edge, that's it. You don't have to go all the way around. Listen to your body. One more breath, inhale. And on the exhale, swoop the left hand down to the floor. Rotate, square your shoulders, facing forward, and reach both arms up to the ceiling. Now if it's too much with the arms to the ceiling, your option here is to hold up to your waist. One more breath, inhale. And on the exhale, hands to your waist. Bring the pelvis back, bring your hips back. Slowly slide that left foot in and bring the left knee under. Take the knees a little bit wider than your hips and just shake it out from side to side. Good. Now we're going to come to standing. So bring the knees in. You can use your blocks to help you bring one foot and then the left. Come to standing. Move your blocks and your knee pad out to one side and come to the front of your mat. Now we're going to start in Tadasana. Look down at our toes. Tadasana means mountain. And yoga is all about alignment, okay? So correcting the way we stand. Where sometimes we don't realise our feet are turned out or perhaps even turned in. So in Tadasana, our toes are in line with our heels. And we lift the arches away from the floor by pressing the mind of our big toes. Spreading all of your toes and your heels into the mat, lifting the arches. Then lift your knees, feet are hip distance apart, so a wee bit wider than Linda. That's it. Knees are lifted, thighs are engaged. We tuck in the tailbone ever so slightly, so it's not sticking out, showing our tail feather. Tuck it in, ribs in, belly in. Roll the shoulders back to lift your heart, and then rotate your palms away from your body. Float your arms up and look up. Bring your hands together. If that's too much, keep them apart. From here, we turn the palms away and dive forward. We call this a swan dive. We only go halfway, and then we bend our knees. Sorry, Julia.
It's fine. Fine.
We're going to give you a punch there. So this is a half lift. Then we release our arms down to the floor, and we start to melt our torso onto our bent knees, our bent thighs. Dropping the head. Now if you wish, you can place blocks underneath your hands if you can't get your hands all the way to the floor. Drop the part of the head to the mat so the head is nice and loose. And then we push our heels into the mat to squeeze our glutes to roll up through your spines all the way coming back to our Tadasana. We're going to repeat that. Inhale, reach up, extend it, mountain, look up at your thumbs. Exhale, swan dive, come down halfway. Inhale, bend your knees, release your arms, fold over your two bent legs, hands on blocks or to the floor, drop the crown of the head to the mat. Inhale, hold it there. Squeeze your heels into the mat as you roll up on the exhale all the way back to Tadasana. Now we're going to add to this, okay? Inhale, reach up, extend it, mountain. Exhale, swan dive, halfway. Inhale, bend your knees and fold to the mat. Now we're coming back up halfway. So straighten the legs, straighten the spine, the arms come out. Okay, now from here we push into the floor with our heels and our toes and lift all the way back up to extended mountain. Slide your hands down through your midline to your heart. Repeat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, bend your knees, forward fold over your two bent knees. This is called Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift, straighten the legs, straighten the spine, arms come out. Exhale, extend the mountain. Inhale to your heart. Now again, we're going to add to this, okay? Everybody's in the front of your mat. And move. Again, you can have your blocks to the front of your mat, because we will be needing them. Just have your blocks beside it. That's it. Okay, so again. Inhale, extend it, mountain, belly in, ribs in. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, bend your knees and fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. And on the exhale, forward fold, turn your blocks to the flat side. Hands on top of the blocks. And we're going to step back with your right foot to the back right corner of your mat. To the back right corner of your mat. In that direction, sorry, yeah? So it's a wider stance, good. Then we're going to step back up with that right foot into your forward fold, Uttanasana. Come up halfway. Straight spine, straight legs. All the way, extend the mountain. And then down to your heart. We're going to do that on the left side. Inhale, reach up, extend the mountain. Exhale, swan dive. Half fold. Inhale, bend your knees. Uttanasana, all the way over. Exhale, half lift. And inhale, forward fold. Now step back this time with your left foot to the back left corner of your mat in that direction, bending deeply into that right knee. So this is called a high lunge. And then a big step up with your left foot. Hip distance from your right. Half lift. Inhale. Exhale, all the way up to extended mountain. Inhale to your heart. Good. Keep your hands at your heart, bring your feet together and your legs together. Stepping back so everybody can see. Feet together, legs together. So with the legs together, I want you to squeeze the inner legs together and bend your knees. When you squeeze your inner legs together and bend your knees, you'll start to fire up these glutes muscles in the bum. So we want to either keep your hands at your heart, this is the modified option, or extend the arms all the way up towards the sky. So this is Utkatasana, chair pose, or we call it squat, or we call it, I hate this pose, or in Orla's class, we love this pose. We love it, love it, love it. Okay, from here we're going to add to it. Take your hands to your waist, stay in your squat, nobody straighten those legs. Take your weight over to your left foot, So this right foot, you're not depending on it anymore. You're going to take that right knee up towards the ceiling, not too high. And then you're going to straighten the right leg out in front and the foot is flexed. Heel rests on the mat. Take both hands to your left thigh and a little bit forward with your heart. So now you're stretching the calf, the back of the knee and the hamstring. Good. One more breath. Inhale. And on the exhale, take your hands back to your waist. Lift the right knee, but keep that left knee bent. Keep it bent. And then place that right foot down. Back in your squat. Feet together, legs together. Squeeze the two legs together. Good. Now take the weight to the right foot. Left foot is light. Knee away from the floor, up towards the ceiling. Extend it out in front. Flex your foot. Heel rests onto the mat. Get your balance. Place your hands on your right knee. Fix your gaze. You're drifting. It really helps. Breathe. Stretch. Sit bones fly into the back of your mat. Heart is open. Shoulders square. One more breath. Inhale. And you can take the wider stance, Monica. And inhale. Lift hands back to your waist. Lift the knee back up to the ceiling. Place the foot to beside the right foot. Stay in your squat. That's it. And straighten. Hello, thighs. So don't be afraid. Give it a little private shot. Okay. Good. Find another weight. We're going to add to it. Hands back to your waist. Feet together, legs together. Now, if balance is an issue, you can always take the wider stance. So you listen to your body. If the feet together, sometimes it's not for you and that's fine. But the reason for the feet together is that we're using the inner leg muscles that sometimes don't get activated when we're doing our standing poses because it's all about the front muscles and it's all about the back muscles. But when we do the squat, try to use the inner leg muscles, they're called adductors, inside of here. And that will help steady the balance, okay? So, we're back into our squat, so hands together to your waist. Press the knees, the ankles together, sit down low into your squat. Good. Now, we're taking the weight to the left foot. The right knee goes up a little bit towards the ceiling, and we're going to step back this time with the right foot. Stay low in your torso, and then rest your back toes, and then come onto the ball of your right foot. The ball of your right foot. So at this moment, this is called crescent legs. Crescent legs. We're going to straighten up the torso. Front knee is bent, back leg is straight. We're on the ball of the back foot, but the whole of the front foot is flat onto the mat. If balance is not your friend, widen your stance. Heel toe, the front foot out a bit wider. Now we're going to add to this something that we haven't done before. This is a little exercise to strengthen quads. We're going to straighten the front knee and bend the back knee. The ball of the foot doesn't change and the front foot doesn't change. It's the knees change. So the front leg straightens, back leg bends. And then back to our crescent legs. Back leg straightens, front knee bends. Back to the change, front leg straightens, back knee bends. Now you can narrow your stance between the 2 feet if it's too wobbly. Once again, back to crescent. Now we're going to add the arms, or not. It's up to you. You can keep your hands on your waist. Cactus arms. Elbows in line with your shoulders. We're going to bend the back knee, straighten the front. Bend the front, straighten the back. Good. Option to add more arms. Extend to the sky, or keep them in cactus, or keep them on your waist. This is harder on the balance. Bend the back knee, straighten the front. Breathe in. Exhale. Bend the front, straighten the back. This is full crescent now with the arms. One more time. Bend the back, straighten the left. And then back to our crescent. Hands to your waist. Lean forward. We call this humble crescent. Step up with the back leg. Back to our squat. Good. And straighten. Humming. Good. Good sound effect. It's better than curse words. Okay, cope with that. Okay, now you have to equal the sides. We'll do it on the other side. So, hands back to your waist. Stay low in our squat. Use the legs. Squeeze. Engage the glutes. Take the weight to the right foot. Left foot gets light. Bring the knee towards the ceiling. We're going to slowly bring it back behind. Doesn't matter how far. It's up to you. Come onto the toes and then the ball of the feet. Now we need to lift the torso upright, so shoulders stack above the hips. Engage your glutes. Squeeze the glutes, yeah? They're muscles that are the largest muscles in our body, so we really need to activate them. Squeeze them like crazy. Now, from here, we start with the hands on the waist, so we'll not go crazy. We're going to straighten the front leg, bend the back knee. Now, balance, we're still wobbling. Come back to your crescent, front knee bent, back leg straight, and heel toe the front foot out wider. It leaves it a little bit more sturdy in the balance. Because this is a challenging one to hold that stillness, yeah? Fixing your gaze, find a spot, keep looking upright, and then once again, bend the back, straighten the front. The feet don't move, the legs move. Front knee bends, back leg straight. So lift the knee, squeeze the thigh, squeeze the glute. We're adding the arms or not. You can keep them on your waist. Straighten the front, bend the back, keep your hips square, draw the navel in, think about your core, and then back to bend the front, straighten the leg, fix your gaze. Add the arms extended or not, you don't have to. Straighten the front, bend the back, breathe in, exhale, back to your present. I know this is challenging if you're not used to it. One more time. Bend the back, straighten the left, or right, sorry, and come back to your crescent, slowly. Hands to your waist. Lean forward into humble crescent. Take the weight onto the right foot and step up with your left foot. Squat. And then straighten. Good. So a little bit of a challenge, without a doubt. Something we haven't done before. So yeah, we're going to move on to the next one. Now we don't need the blocks, so if you have them on your mat, just move them to one side. Our next standing posture is warrior two. So start with your feet hip distance apart, a little buoyancy on the knee, hands to your waist, take the weight to your left foot, step back with your right foot, about 4 feet. But I'm not going to get funny about it. If you need to take a narrower stance, that's okay too. Once again, you can heel toe the front foot out. Always remember that's an option for your balance. In this position, this front knee, front foot doesn't move. All the action happens in the shoulder, hip and heel. So we're going to keep this front foot and leg still as we rotate the right shoulder, right hip, right heel down, round to the right. Now look down at your feet and check that your front toes are facing the front of your mat and that your back heel is the furthest part back. Good, lovely. Front knee is bent. It's a 90 degree, we're aiming for 90 or in that direction. And then open up the arms, shoulder height. Rotate the nose round to the left, and our drishti, our focus point on this position is our left middle fingernail. Left middle fingernail. Good. Now, the little intricacies of this posture. We want the shoulders to be stacked above the hips. Good. We want the front knee to be bent, but working that left knee out to the left. That's the name of the game. This back leg is straight, so you lift the knee, squeeze the thigh muscle, and press down the outside edge of the foot. Shoulders are relaxed, so we can see our lovely, beautiful swan necks. Belly is in, tailbone is in. Now you are welcome to stay here. This is enough for you. We're going to add to it. Okay, we're going to add a little more, and this is the challenging part. You do not have to do. So we take the hands behind, interlace, draw the navel in, and if you just want to watch me for a moment, we're going to fold inside of the shoulder, or sorry, the outside of the shoulder to the inside of the left knee. Fold. Now you do not have to do this. You can also, as an option, fold with your hands on your waist. Bring your shoulder to the inside of the knee with the hands on the waist. And come back up. Okay. Suzanne's already there. So, we're going to fold, hands interlaced behind, taking the arms and the hands to the sky. Press down into the left heel, the left big toe. Shoulder to the inside of the leg, crown of the head down towards the floor. Breathe. One more. Strong legs, warrior legs. Inhale. And on the exhale, come all the way back up to standing by really pressing into that left heel, left big toe. Release the arms. Swoop the right arm down to the floor, up towards the sky, taking the back heel away from the mat, and then a big step up with the right foot. Other side. Stepping back with the left. Widen your stance or not. Rotate. Left shoulder, left hip, left heel. Right knee doesn't move. Right knee is bent. Back leg is straight. And then we ensure that our torso is upright. Shoulders, like a little rectangle of the torso. Shoulders square above our hips. Rotate the nose and check our knee is above our ankle. Open the arms. Look at our right middle fingernail. Relax the shoulders. Now, strong legs. Front leg bent, back leg straight. Lift the back knee. Squeeze the thigh. Engage the glutes. Stay here or add. Take the hands behind or take them to your waist. Interlace the hands. Lift the heart. Open up the sternum. And then fold. Right shoulder to the inside of the right knee. Arms to the sky. Crown of the head to the floor. And breathe. Press strongly into that right heel. Right big toe. One more breath. Inhale. And on the exhale, slowly come upright with the torso. Release the arms. Warrior two. Sweep the left arm down to the floor. As you sweep, you lift the left heel, pivot on the ball of the foot. Lean into that right leg and step up. Well done. Another one we didn't do before. These are making lots of progress. Okay, next week handstands. Who's on? Yeah, sure. Well, we could try. So, a little balance, our favourite. Start with the feet, keep the hip distance apart. Good. We're going to take the weight to the left foot, similar to what we've been doing throughout our practice. We're going to take the right knee up to the ceiling. We can add our hands to our waist, to cactus, or reach it all the way up to the sky. Now we're going to add to it, okay? So this is where it gets tricky. We're going to open the right knee out to the right. Doesn't matter how high. Hold it there. Breathe in. And on exhale, see if you can take your nose to the left. Breathe in. Exhale, take your knee right to the front. And lower down, along with your arms. Good, other side. Knee up. Balancing on the right foot. Now you are welcome to stay here. Hands can remain on the waist. Okay, if we're not used to balancing on one foot, this can be quite challenging. Option now is to add the cactus arms. Open up the chest. Or add full extension and Vinyasana. Then rotate. We're opening up the hip. Taking the left knee out to the left. And to challenge the balance is rotating the nose to the right. Breathe. And on the exhale, take it round to the front. Release down to the mat. Well done. Roll the shoulders. For 3. For 2. For 1. We're going to do what we did at the start. Surya Namaskar arms. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, mountain. Exhale, swan dive. Half fold. Inhale, bend your knees and melt. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Straighten the legs, straighten the spine. Arms come out. Exhale, extend it, mountain. Inhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, one more. I'm going to come down to the floor. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, bend your knees and forward fold. Now the hands can come to the floor and we're going to lower our right knee to the mat. Lower our left knee to the mat. Swing your feet out to one side and lower your sit bones down. Okay. So now you need to grab your foam block. Your little rectangular block. And I'll just demonstrate it to the side and then I'll turn to the front. So we use this block to sit on at the very, very edge. So that our sit bones are coming over. You can feel it if you roll forward and back on the edge of the block. So we're not sitting right on the block, we're sitting at the very edge with the sit bones coming over the edge. I said it elevates our pelvis. Now, we're taking the legs out wide for this one. As wide as they can go. I'm going to turn right and face you. That's it. So when we take our legs out wide, sometimes what happens is the toes rotate away too, okay? Because it's more comfortable for the hips. We need to rotate the toes to the sky so that our knees are in line with our hips, okay? Sitting up nice and tall, so out of our hips, out of our sit bones, good. The heart is lifted. We're going to rotate the torso so that the shoulders, one shoulder is either side of your right leg. That's it. We're rotating all the way around to your right, and either shoulders either side of your leg. Good. Release your hands to the floor, and you're going to lift out of your sit bones and bring your heart forward towards your right leg. That's it. You can use your hands either side of your right leg to support your body coming over your right leg. Now the tendency here is when we're folding over whichever side, is we lift the opposite hip. So at the moment we're folding over the right, our left hip is coming away from our block or the floor. So I want you to focus on the left hip and bring the left hip back and down. That's it, good. Keep the feet flexed so that we're stretching underneath the backs of the legs. Good. And if you can go deeper, then start to walk your hands a little bit further. Breathe. So in these seated postures, I like to close my eyes. So don't worry about what's going on around, and just breathe and stretch. So these poses are all about stretching because we've strengthened in our standing. We built heat in our body, so our muscles are warm, so they can stretch. When we stretch, we allow the red blood cells to roam more freely. Ease your job to bring the oxygen around our muscles, ligaments, tendons, and our organs. One more breath, inhale. And on the exhale, use your hands to walk your hands towards your body, lifting the torso away from your right leg. And we're going to rotate all the way through center over to your left leg. So now again, the torso is rotated so that each shoulder is either side of your leg. And you're going to bring your heart forward over your left leg and start to walk your hands either side of your leg for support. Keep your feet flexed. Now we're thinking into our right hip, our right sit bone. Bring it back and down. Don't allow it to lift. Close your eyes. Just breathe. Slowly in. Slowly out. One more. Inhale. And on the exhale, use your hands, walking your hands towards your body, sitting nice and tall, and then rotate the torso through center. So this is where you can use your blocks if they're not too far away or not, but as an option, I'll bring them to you, don't worry, I'll bring them to you. So we're coming forward between our two legs, and you can rest your forearms, you can rest your hands on the high side for support. Forearms, hands, both sit bones pressed back and down. Lovely. Flex your feet. That's it. That's it, Susanna. And again, close your eyes. Don't worry about the world around you. Just think about the stretching your legs, stretching your torso. Keep the feet flexed. One more. In. And on the exhale, start to walk your hands. Support the torso, coming all the way upright. Good. So move your blocks from between your legs to one side. You can reach back and take your block out from underneath. Keep your legs wide and place it to one side. Take both hands behind each of your hips. We call this prong fingers or domed fingers behind each of your hips. Lean into your hands and slide your legs together. Hopefully they've gone another 2 inches. And then give them a little shake out. Right. Okay, I'm going to turn around again. So once again, you're going to grab your block and place it underneath your sit bones. So just bend one knee and place it underneath. Now the legs are together. We're sitting up nice and tall. And in this position, this is called seated mountain dandasana. Standing mountain tadasana, seated mountain dandasana. Shoulders above our hips, feet are flexed. And if this is too much strain in the backs of the legs, you can bend your knees but keep your toes up towards the sky, so no soft legs. So now their feet are flexed, the knees are lifted, the thighs are engaged. Sitting up nice and tall, we're going again with the heart. So it's going to come forward with a nice long spine. And then you tuck in your chin ever so slightly, not all the way. And your gaze is at your two big toes. But I also like to close my eyes here, because I just like to focus on my breath while stretching the backs of my legs. When we are in Tadasana, in our standing mountain, and we do our forward fold, we have the help of gravity bringing us down. Now not so much. So we need to use our core muscles to engage, to bring us more forward, rather than rounding our back, and use the strength of our legs. Flexing the feet. Breathing. Again, blocks can be useful here. You can rest your hands on the blocks. Your back here, your forearms. This is called Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. And we're slowing our breath, preparing our body for relaxation, but not just yet. One more, inhale. And on the exhale, slowly coming away from your fold, sitting up nice and tall, back to our domed hands. We don't have to take the block away this time, we just give our legs a little shake out. Leaning back. Good. Now, roll onto one bum cheek, take the block from underneath. And then, if you have your blocks, take them off the mat. We're going to scoot the bum forward. And we're going to bend both knees. Feet is flat and hip distance apart. We take our hands underneath our legs for support. Lift your heart, so holding onto your legs, you lift your heart and you lean back. This is called boat navasana. We're going to hover the feet away from the floor. And perhaps this is enough, but for all my Pilates ladies, you might have a really strong core. This is why I love Pilates for this. We lift our legs, our ankles in line with our knees. Now, option here is to keep a hold of the legs. You don't have to release your hands. If you wish, take your hands away. Good, so you're leaning back, so you're shining the leg from your heart. Good, 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 good. Or hold on to the legs, it's only an option. Squeeze belly in. One more breath, inhale. And on the exhale, hands behind the knees, lower the feet and sit up nice and tall. Good. So we're going to add to that, there's just one more to that where the legs come apart. So, hands behind or not, you can repeat what we just did. You lean back and hover the feet, and that's as far as you go, okay? From here, we're going to take the legs apart, lift the knees, or the ankles I should say, and then release the hands. Now the full pose, if anybody wishes to give it a whirl, is the peace fingers wrap around the big toes, and you open up, holding on to the toes. What are you going to try to do?
I don't think it would work.
Pardon? That's it, Suzanne. So wrap your peace fingers around your toes. This is an option. And you lean back, hold on to your toes. You can take it halfway, you can come out of it at any stage. And then all over. Nice, Suzanne. Take your legs together. Nearly. And then release the toes. That's it, good. Good. And release, very good. So now are we challenging to our repertoire? Shake out the legs. Next week, men splits. Good. So, excuse me. Scoot your bum forward once again, because you may have gone further back. Knees are bent. We're going to lower our backs onto the mat. So walk your hands down the backs of your legs for support. Draw the navel in. And all we're going to do is lie back. And once you get the back of your head onto the mat, slide your heels up towards your sit bones. Knees are hip distance apart, and if you're unsure, just have a peek up. Have a wee peek up with your knees. And feet are underneath your knees, so your ankles are underneath your knees. Now, in Pilates, you always have this little arch between your back and the floor. But for this particular posture, we are going to flatten our back against the floor. So I want you to think about your front ribs, arms are by your side, and take your front ribs to your back ribs and squash that marshmallow flat between your spine and the mat. So all of your back is flat on the mat. And you'll notice you're engaging your core, you'll engage your sit bones, squeeze them together, squeeze your glutes, and somewhat of your hamstrings, backs of the legs. Now think about your feet. So our marshmallow's flat, we're keeping it flat. Think about your feet, squeeze your heels into the mat. And now we're engaging more of our legs. Once we've really squeezed the heels into the mat, start to lift your tailbone away from the floor. Lift your sacrum, the upper part of your bum, the lower part of your back, into the middle part of your back, and all the way just to above your bra strap. We're going to lift, this is called bridge. The back of the neck is long. You're looking up towards the sky, or you can even have your eyes closed. Arms are rested, so now we're engaging our bum a lot and the backs of our legs, hamstring. This is Setu Bandha, bridge. Breathe. Keep those pelvis lifted. One more breath, inhale. And on the exhale, slowly, from above your bra strap, we lower. Just like pearls on a necklace being lowered onto a table, our little vertebrae are being lowered one at a time, from our upper into our lower. Squeeze the belly in a lot, to the top of our bum, to our sacrum, and then our tailbone. And the backs of the legs should be burning. Take the right knee into the chest, followed by the left. Option is to place your hands on top of the knees or underneath. Squeeze the knees up to the chest and rock your body from side to side. Good. Come to center. Now, two options to come back up to seated is to reach your right arm up and over your head and roll over onto your right side. That's option one. Push the floor with your left hand. Option two, hands underneath the legs. Take the chin into the chest, draw the navel in and roll through your spine. A little roly-poly. Using the knees through your ankles for that momentum to bring you all the way up to seated. Well done. So that's us. We now have a part of the class called relaxation, believe it or not. So this is the least favourite part of the class for the majority of people. Would I be right, ladies? So the important part of this class, Linda, is obviously feeling relaxed. So to do that, we can get our jumpers on, wrap up. There's blankets, those blue blankets. Wrap yourself up. Ladies like to bring their own blankets. I'm going to grab pillows and you rest your head. So this is completely different from Pilates. And also, we can offer bolsters for underneath knees if you have any issues with your lower back. So the name of the game is get comfortable and do what you need to do just that. Would anybody else like a bolster?
I have
Yeah, no problem. So if you like that, place it underneath your knees, okay? And I'm going to use your foam block. So if you don't mind, we lie on our backs completely. And then I'm going to place this underneath your knees. So you extend your legs out so the backs of your knees are resting on the block. Yeah. And then we take this underneath your knees and your feet are just apart. Good. Okay. Would you like it like it?
Yes.
Okay. We know to take sleeping bags. I know, sure listen. So we've got one here. Oh, you have it? Drinking coffee. roll the shoulders ever so slightly back to lift our heart even more. Toes are rotated away from one another. And you want to feel completely comfortable so that you can close your eyes and focus on your breath. Take this opportunity now to little check in. Check into how you feel. You haven't left the class yet, so don't worry about what's going on in the world, what's going on in your lives. This is a moment just to reset your body, reset your mind. 10 minutes of complete relaxation. So once again, if thoughts start to be heavy in your mind, you can help empty those thoughts by repeating the mantra, I am breathing in, I am breathing out. Just see those thoughts like clouds and allow them to float on by each and every time and come back to your breath. Tension, releasing the muscles that you've worked hard on engaging and strengthening and stretching. Give your body permission to relax. And all those muscles just lie back, wrapped in Mother Earth's arms. And all you need to do is breathe. Take awareness to the back of your head. Relax the back of your head, the crown of your head, the sides of your head and your forehead. Relax your fine lines, your eyebrows center. Relax your eyelids and even your eyes. Relax your nose, nostrils, cheeks, ears, upper lip, lower lip. Unclench your teeth. Remove your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Relax your jaw and your chin. Throat and neck, the tops of your shoulders, your collarbones, your chest. Relax your heart, your front ribs, your side ribs, your back ribs, the space between your two ribs, your belly, belly button, your lower abdomen, hips, pelvis, your thighs, knees, shins, ankles, tops of your feet, big toes, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, the outside edge of your feet, soles of your feet, heels, calves, backs of knees, hamstrings, buttocks, lower back, middle back, upper back. Relax your shoulders, your armpits, upper arms, elbows, forearms, wrists. Heel of your hands, thumbs, forefingers, middle finger, ring finger, little finger. The backs of your hands and the palms of your hands. Both arms, legs, torso, head, relaxed. Muscles, ligaments, tendons, organs, bones, fascia, skin, every cell. That you only get one body. Just as it's easy to eat too much or too little. It's easy to want to trade it in for another one. More beautiful, less moody, that always wakes up on the right side of the bed without that creaky knee, bad ankle, or peeling skin. It's easy to forget because we forget that behind rust there is shine. back to yoga after months or years, and crust has set up camp on your creaky bones, and cobwebs have formed in your too tight muscles, remember, behind rust, there is shine. Behind that second muffin is a desire to be happy. Behind that cup of coffee is a desire to feel alive. Behind everything you do for yourself, there is love. Behind rust, there is shine. Take a deep breath to moisten the cloth and grab your polish. Under the hardened layers of the heart, uncover the hidden inscription embedded in gold. You will always be enough. Taking your awareness back to your breath, the coolness of your in and warmth of your out. Taking your awareness to the parts of your body connected to your mat, to the floor, and the space that your body takes up on your mat and within the studio. Tune into the sounds you can hear. And then take your awareness back to your breath, back to your body, back to your mat, and back to your hands and to your feet. Taking energy back into your body, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. And then relax your hands and relax your feet. Take awareness into your tummy, draw your navel in, and in your own time, slide your feet one at a time up towards your sit bones or onto the bolsters. And take a moment here. And when you are ready, take your knees into your chest one at a time, holding onto the top or underneath, and with your eyes closed, rock your body from side to side. Come to center, and keeping your eyes closed throughout, reach your right arm up and over your head, and feeling your way, roll yourself over to your right side, placing your left hand on the floor in front of your heart. We're just going to stay here to allow your heart to settle in its natural position. And again, with your eyes closed, push the floor away with your left hand, just feeling your way up into a seated position. Your legs can be crossed or they can be out straight. Sitting up nice and tall, bring your hands together and rub to quickly. And with your warm hands, place them over your eyes. And now open your eyes behind your hands. Squeeze them shut, open. Squeeze them shut, open. Look up, look down, to the right, to the left. Rotate clockwise. Rotate your eyes anti-clockwise. And then close them again as you bring your hands together right in front of your heart. Sitting up nice and tall. Think now of a positive affirmation or a small phrase you can tell yourself. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, bow your chin into your chest. Turn the corners of your mouth up to your eyes. Flutter your eyelids open. Namaste.